Posts that we'll use. I use a lot of Instagram on IG. The reason for that is you can scale very fast. And even if you look at my Instagram, like I don't have a lot of followers. I think I have like what, like 3,000 or something, but we're still able to find capital, close deals, and then still run an active business off that. Right? You don't actually need millions of people following you. And in fact, what I found is people with millions of followers actually don't know how to monetize. Like they can't even sell like a $20 shirt, right? Because your followers and subscribers is one thing, but you also have your fans, which will actually consider investing in you, whether that's your business or like actual investments. And then there's your true fans, which they'll do anything that you kind of drop. You drop a t-shirt, they'll get it. They'll drop a book, they'll get it. Drop some free resources, they'll get it. They'll give an opportunity for something, they'll go get it. And you only get those type of fans if one, you have a track record, and two, it's built on, I think anyway, built on transparency, but they just really like you, right? That's why I'm a big fan of just documenting the process. Now, you can document the process, but still have a framework around that. So with that, first kind of post that I always make is it's called value posts. I learned this from my one of my first coaches and mentors. This is John and Devin there. But value posts is just you're just adding value to them. Think education, entertainment. Right? You'll see me drop memes sometimes. You'll see me do like little reel skits, little pieces of info about like Canadian real estate, being a new investor, or it's even like this is essentially a value post. I'm just teaching people how we can do this, right? And again, you don't need to be a guru. It could just be something that you learned. And the way I kind of frame it, we're still working on this because sometimes their editors cut up the part where it says like, hey, like this is what I've learned, but frame it as, hey, this is what I've learned. This is what I've gone through my education process. I hope it helps you. Instead of being like, hey, this is what you should do. Right. Now, sometimes my stuff gets cut. So it looks like, hey, I'm saying this is what you should do. At the grand scheme of things, I think it's better to have quantity of marketing than quality of marketing. Because that's how you learn, especially in the beginning. If you've never done this, you've never posted, it just makes sense to keep putting stuff out because then you'll figure out what hits. And sometimes you won't even know what hits. Like my most top performing piece of content is why I don't have a case on my phone. It's nothing to do with real estate, but it gets eyeballs in. Then people start learning, oh, this guy's into real estate. That's a value post. Then we have an aha post. Aha post is you're sharing an insight that you learned. This is a little bit more different than just the education piece and the entertainment piece because that's a little bit more tangible. This is more like, oh, I finally figured out, let's say, how to calculate the BRRRR strategy. Or like, oh, I had this insight where I lent out money, I got a return, and I realized, cool, like, there's opportunities better than banking savings accounts. It's more like sharing what is a learning process that you went through. Then I'll add in like, 2 to 3 tips of how they can get that learning process themselves. Maybe start hanging out with people that are talking about money. Right. So a big insight I had a couple of years ago, probably about 2 years ago, is I need to be surrounded with people that talk about money and capital and deals. Right. If not, I can quickly revert back to just being comfortable very quickly. But if I'm surrounded by people that are trying to get to the next level, trying to see that, hey, there's opportunities everywhere, then it gets me in that mood of like, hey, how do we find more deals? How do we make money together? Right. Third is going to be what's called your moment of truth. This is a longer post. You see me usually post this as like carousels, like where you like swipe through, and it's essentially your story. It starts with this is the situation you were in. This is kind of the difficulties you had to go through. And then finally, how you solve that solution and a couple tips and tricks of how, someone else can do it too. You kind of motivate them. This is something you can keep recycling. You'll see me drop this almost all the time. I used to be a high school teacher, felt stuck. I'm the only child, parents are immigrants. I knew because I worked in a financial industry that did not have enough for a retirement. I had no choice but to become an entrepreneur, right? Sometimes I'll talk about how I used to dance, do breakdancing. And again, I had no choice but to become an entrepreneur because I had to provide for like a family. I want something more out of life, right? I always make the joke where it's like, hey, naturally I'm an artist. I was forced into entrepreneurship. Am I actually forced? Not really, but I didn't choose to be born in a capitalist society. I have no. It's not like I like it or I don't like it. It's an opportunity that I get. Right. Um, that moment of truth usually is followed up by a call to action post or a CTA post. This is where we get them to actually do something. Hit the subscribe button, follow me on YouTube, DM me the word ebook to get access to the free ebook. DM me the word money partner if you want to be a money partner, friends and family only. DM me the word coach if you want coaching around this. And this builds up attention. And then in 2 or 3 days, you drop the CTA. And then now you get to see, okay, who's actually interested, right? Then you can basically make like scheduling for all this. Right? It's a rally post, aha post. The fifth one I always put on is just going to be life post. Yeah. Because then if there's no eyeballs, there's no leads, like you don't have a business. Right? That's why even after this, like we'll talk about how we can integrate these same systems, similar systems. Anyway, this is scalable online. So like you make one post, it just goes basically. But it's getting those eyeballs in because I'm a firm believer, and this is what I've kind of seen and learned over the years as an entrepreneur, is if people don't know you, like you got no chance running a business. I don't care if you've been thinking about it for 5, 10 years. Actually, if you're probably thinking about it for 5, 10 years and you haven't made a profit just yet, like you're probably never doing it. Like 3 years makes sense. You're just like after the third year, just like, yeah, I just gotta do something. Right. It's that 5, 10 year mark where I find like, cool man, like we've been out of high school for 10 years. You've been saying you want to do a business, but you haven't even sold anything or like done a sale job or a marketing job. Like even that builds you towards actually running a business. That I find that like ideas are not really worth anything now because like we live in an internet age, like everyone's got the ideas. Instead, is why I really push like speed of implementation. If you have an idea, try it in the next 15 minutes, right? That way, you at least learn the sales and marketing side. So then the last thing you want is to invest all this time into an idea, and then one or two things happen. Either someone does the business, and then now you're just like, oh, well, they beat me to it. You wasted time. Or you realize it wasn't viable in the first place. And again, you wasted all that time. Yeah. So a lot of what I'll do, let's say, even with new launches, I released well, I haven't sent it out yet, but I'll be releasing the newsletter later today, and it talks about launches. Like if you don't have leads and a lead list, like you probably even shouldn't even be thinking about launching any business, right? Like, how are you going to get clients if no one even knows you? Right? You're going to expect them to know your business, but they don't know you. Like it's a little weird, right? Um, or even I'll try, like if I do a launch, I'll do a soft launch and I'll try to sell it. If I can't sell anything the first 2 weeks, it's done. Like the product just sucks. Right. Now maybe I'll measure out, okay, do I keep making it better? Right. But if even with money raising, right, if I put in some marketing for that and I don't raise any money, then I'm like, okay, something's wrong. It's like, how do I get better? Right. So I think, yeah, building a personal brand is super huge because you don't know what business you'll be in, 20 years from now. Right. Like I never thought I'd be in the coaching business. Right. I love teaching. I never really saw that connection, but I knew that if I just document whatever I'm doing, regardless of if I was even in business just yet, it would pay dividends later on. Because if no one knows you, you can't really run a business. Very difficult. Now, yeah, it can't be anything. Like people need to know who you are. At least the people that you want to know who you are. I'm sure there's entrepreneurs out there that your average person has no idea, but they're like killing it. But they're also known by the people they want to be known by. All right. And get my charger real quick. Let's see if there's any questions here. If you guys have questions, comments, critiques, or concerns on Instagram, let me know. If you guys also have questions on the Zoom call, you guys can let me know as well. I know for Instagram, this is all reversed, but that's just too bad. can't really do anything about that. Yeah, the reading backwards. It's funny, when I was tutoring, I had to like learn to write backwards. Let's say I'm like we're across the desk. I'd like write backwards, but I haven't done that in a long time. So, okay. Okay, cool. So remember the fun stuff, which is aligning your personal life, going out and stuff, with actually raising money and being in real estate.
Hey, do you want to get my free ebook, How to Never Be Broke Again? I've given this out completely for free. So DM me the word ebook, one word ebook, and I will send you that for free. You guys are awesome, and thanks so much for the continued support.
It's all a funnel. A lot of marketing is just a funnel. On top, you have lead gen. Then you're going to have lead conversion, lead retention. You can also add nurture in here. Change the color. But with this online, so I'll put online here, in person, in real life. You game at all? Oh, yeah. Yeah, IRL. Yeah. So online, again, your lead gen is usually it's called a lead magnet. This is your free resource that you're giving out that helps your ideal client, whether it's a money partner, whether it's a potential client, right? If you're in renovations, it's a potential homeowner that needs their stuff done and renovated. Let's like, okay, what would help them with whatever problems there are? And again, it all starts like knowing who your ideal client is. And again, that's how I kind of filter out who are the tire kickers in running a actual business and getting to investments versus not. Is if they want to run an active business, I'll just ask them, okay, who's your ideal client? They can answer that, then I know they did some homework. Right? But lead magnet's usually free, and then what you're getting is an email. You exchange email for the free thing you're giving out. See me give out free ebook, free rental trackers, free resources, free 5-day courses on how to raise money or how to do real estate, right? Then I get their email. Email is important because you keep that. That's a real asset. A lot of people don't look at it that way. Because yeah, you can have your followers online, but if you get banned or you lose Instagram or whatever social media platform, you don't have access to that anymore. Versus an email, you download the list, you have that email forever. The email is forever. And then later on, let's say you change businesses, you can still market to these people. In real life, your lead generation is going to be meeting people. And I was coaching one of my students earlier today, in that even my own coaches, like I had a dating coach since, I don't know, when I was 18 or something. I wanted that because I knew it was important. I always wanted to start a family. I knew that I did not want to get to like my 30s and not have like dating figured out. I want to just be able to like understand that part of human nature. So I'm not worried about it. And then I could focus all my time on other things. Like I actually put that before like the money aspect. Then once I kind of figured that out, and I was like, oh, cool. Like I still like the process of meeting people. I'm not necessarily trying to date these people at this point, but like, how can I still have that fun part, but still make it productive? And it's like, oh, right. If you meet people, you get them into the funnel for your business. So in real life, it's meeting people. Lead nurture and lead conversion is once you meet someone, you get them into IG. I don't ask for people's phone numbers anymore. If they want to ask my phone number, I'll be a little iffy. Like, hey, just add me on Instagram. The big reason is I don't want my phone blowing up more than it already does. Right.
Or keep any personal contacts for any major networking
Correct. Yeah.
where you have a personal relationship.
Yeah, like students have my number, people I have personal relations have my number, but if I'm just meeting them and we're just getting to know each other, I'll put them on Instagram. So lead magnet, you get their email. Their nurturing is online. It's going to be email marketing, or still goes back to IG Reels plus content. And that's those value posts, that's those telling your story, that's call to actions, aha moments, and they're just getting to know you through there.
Mhm.
In real life version, so I'm getting their Instagram, so I meet someone, get their Instagram, and then the lead conversion is IG stories. Actually learned this out in Miami, plus CTA. I can post a lot of stories of what I'm actually doing, and then invite them into what's called a container event. Okay. For us, our container event is going to be the Alliance 3 events. Right. Once they're there, then I can have longer conversation with them. Then I can have another touch, another way of meeting them. Sometimes it'll be a party, right? It doesn't have to be like an actual event like this, right? So like yesterday, we went to a Little Brown Jug, I think it was, right? And like I don't drink. The most I'll do is I'll stay up a little bit later, but weekend I could sleep in a little bit. That being said, it's on my IG stories. I use actually a lot of Snapchat for this. I'll actually funnel a lot of people that I know are either warm or hot leads on money partnering and then get them into my Snapchat. Because then now I know, like Instagram, it's friends and family plus followers. My Snapchat, it's only friends and family. Right. But from there, it's CTA and then into an event or lead conversion. This could also be followed with Zoom/appointment. Once I get them somewhere, once I meet them somewhere, then I can get them onto a Zoom appointment because they've already been exposed to what I'm doing. By the time you get my Instagram, they should know I'm in real estate. Literally put it in there, right? And then finally, lead retention or full-on lead conversion, like once they actually become a client/money partner.
So pretty much the whole concept of the funnel is still narrowing down who's really of interest.
Correct. Yeah. And then lead retention is, you're paying the money, so that literally retains them if they're a money partner.
You're providing them with information.
Info, exactly. Yeah,
That's
more info.
They-
And then plus other forms of value. So it could be, you throw a barbecue.
Oh, they're also built.
They're also doing portfolio, right? Yeah. So there it's that whole, now you want everything aligned, right? Like, yeah, there's the online aspect. Yeah, there's the in-person aspect. If you combine both, now you don't necessarily have to think about it, right? Especially if you just get like this first half, it helps a lot. Because now it's like, hey, if I go out, anyone I meet that's like, kind of cool, I'm kind of vibing with them, cool, okay, let's exchange Instagrams. Cool. Now they're in the funnel. Now they can see how I actually help you. If it's online, it's like, hey, I'm making the call to actions. Hey, I'm giving out this free ebook, free course, free rental tracker, free cost estimator, whatever it is, get onto my email list. And from there, they get nurtured and then converted from all the content.
Mhm.
And then finally, we can meet in person. We can start going on a Zoom call. I can figure out more personal, like, hey, what do they actually need? This is really where it gets customized. And you want them to feel that it is customized, right? Even if it's just the money partnering and you already know it's like, hey, I'm going to ask for 10%. That's why I do a 2-call close with money partners. Because then I'm like, hey, I'm going to build you like a plan. And I will actually sit down and be like, hey, well, how can we help them with this? But so it does help because now they feel it's more customized and you actually took time to help them.
And thank you again, Patrick, for this program. It changed my life. It changed my mindset. It changed everything. That was the best six weeks of my life.
I just want to give a shout out to my man Patrick. Just honestly been one of the best teachers that I've ever had.
It's a very informative course. Patrick works with you one-on-one, so if there's any questions or anything you might be doubting or you're uncertain of, he'll definitely be there to help. Honestly, highly suggest this course. It's taught me a lot through my journey.